Hi everyone, my name's Natasha. Bonjour, je m'appelle Natasha.
你好，我叫娜塔莎。
你好，我叫Natasha. Hallo, jeg heter Natasha.
여보세요. 내 이름은 나타샤입니다.
여보세요, 내 이름은 Natasha입니다. Salam alaikum. Smiti Natasha. Isn't Google Translate amazing? It is so helpful when you're traveling in another country and you need to do some quick communication with people around you. It can also be really helpful when you need to find a very specific word to convey important information. It can save your life. When you're studying another language, Google Translate and other translation tools can also be really, really helpful, but they can also get you into trouble. In this video, we're going to look at some ways you can get into trouble and how to avoid that. And we're also going to look at a technique for using Google Translate and other electronic translation tools that you have on your computer or on your smartphone to improve your language and really build up your own voice in another language. So let's talk about a few of the risks first. The first risk is that Google and other electronic translation tools are not always accurate. They make mistakes. Second, when you use language from a translator, it's not your voice. It doesn't sound like you. This is very important. Just as when you speak, you have a voice that sounds like you. You use specific words and you use specific types of grammar and ways of saying things that sound like you. You have a voice when you write too, and your teachers get to know that voice. If your teacher reads a paragraph that you write and suddenly there's a sentence in the middle that doesn't sound like you, this is confusing to the teacher. Most important, if you use language that you didn't create in a writing class or in an English class, your teacher might think you plagiarized or copied or had somebody else do the work for you. And this is very, very serious. If you look on your university's website, you will always see a statement about plagiarism and copying. It's not acceptable at US universities to do this. You might get an F on the assignment, you might get an F in the class, and if your offense is serious enough, you can get kicked out of school and sent home. So it's best to make sure that whatever language you use is your language, that you own it, that it is your voice that you're writing in. So that's some ways you can get in trouble. But there is so much you can learn from Google Translate and Udaudict and other translation tools that you have on your computer. Let's look at some guidelines for how to do it. First of all, when you're speaking or when you're writing or doing homework in your English class, compose your sentences in English first. This is hard, and it's tempting to write your sentence in your first language and then put it in the translator and let the computer do the translating for you. But the more you do it, the better you will get and the more you will develop your own voice. Number 2, use your translator only for single words or for short phrases. But don't stop there. Once you find that single word or that short phrase, you look it up, you need to check the meaning and develop a feel for this phrase. There are a lot of ways to do it. First of all, translate it back into your first language and see if it has the same meaning that you thought it did. Look the word up in a really good English dictionary. I like Longman's, but there are a lot of good ones out there. A good English dictionary has information about the grammar of a word, about patterns that you might use or idioms that you might use with that word. You might look your word up in a thesaurus. A thesaurus gives you a list of words that mean something similar to your word, but not exactly the same thing. This can give you a good feel for this word. Finally, write some other sentences in English using your new word or phrase and translate them back into your own language. See if they mean what you think they mean. You should feel pretty comfortable after doing all these things that you know this word, but there's one more really important step, and that is check with a human. Tell your instructor, tell your writing lab tutor, tell your friend who's helping you, I used a translator to find this phrase. I think I'm using it right, but can you just tell me what this means to you? Does it fit with the rest of my essay? Once you've done all of these steps, you can say that you own that word. This word is now part of your vocabulary, it's part of your language, and it's part of your voice, and you can use it confidently. Congratulations!